It is official. With the collection of certificate of return, I am officially a senator-elect for Kebbi South Senatorial District.
The people of Kebbi South Senatorial District. I, Garba Musa Maidoki, Senator-elect for Kebbi South Senatorial District, wishes to express my profound appreciation for the confidence my people have of me. You have voted for me. I think we have made history, and I believe we have set a new level for political emancipation of our land in favor of good governance, in favor of security for our land, in favor of improvement in infrastructure for our people. And I remain committed in the development of people, young people. This I am committed, and this we will pursue with all available resources.
Welcome to the scorecard. Garba Musa Maidoki has clocked 30 days in office on July 13, 2023, with the inauguration of the 10th Assembly of the Nigerian Senate on the 13th June 2023 as the distinguished senator representing the good people of Kebbi South at the National Assembly of Nigeria's Fourth Republic. It is uncommon to assess a public official's 30 days in office. What is in vogue is the ultimate celebration of 100 days in office. In my belief and disbelief, I think waiting for 100 days in office to assess distinguished Senator Garba Musa Maidoki will be a disservice to him and the good people of Kebbi South he represents at the red chambers of the National Assembly. 3 reasons inform this position. 1. His supersonic start and quick acclimatization of the Senate proceedings. 2. His impromptu flame-throwing comments in regards to the minority leadership of the Senate. And 3. His going extra miles, hunting for means and ways of serving his people. In the space of 30 days, Garba Musa Maidoki has given a number of speeches that define our time and circumstances and defined him. For the avoidance of doubt, let me emphasize that the first 30 days of the 10th Assembly means 11 sittings, including the inauguration. That means only 10 sittings, 4 in the month of June and 6 on or before the 12th of July, the period of this assessment. In the space of 30 days, 10 sittings of the Senate, Garba Musa Maidoki's achievement is a textbook study, in fact, a fellowship dissertation. The 10th Assembly was inaugurated on the 13th of June. His Excellency, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, emerged the Senate President. After taking oath of allegiance, oath of membership of the National Assembly, and oath of the President of the Senate, he called on the Clerk of the National Assembly to administer the oath of allegiance and oath of membership of the National Assembly to the senators-elect.
I, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Commander of the Order of the Niger,
do solemnly swear
that
I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
So help me God.
So help me God. Distinguished senators-elect, may I now have the privilege of inviting the clerk of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to now administer the oath on the senators-elect. The clerk.
I will now proceed with inviting senators-elect 3 states at a time to come forward to take oath of office. Kaduna State, Usman Lawal Adamu, Khalid Ibrahim Mustafa, Carton Sunday Marshall, Kano State, Rufai Hanga, Abdurrahman Kaus Suleiman, Yaradua Abdulaziz Musa, Zangon Dauran Nasir Sane, Mohammed Dantuse Muntari, Kebbi State, Aliero Adamu Mohammed, Abdullahi Yahaya Abubakar, Garba Musa, oath of allegiance. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. Oath of a member of the National Assembly. I do solemnly swear or affirm. So help me God.
Maidoki blast out with an absolute unbelievable start that leveled the field, leaving everyone to try and play catch up. A powerful start is crucial to attaining an optimal standard of performance. His start was very explosive, as if the Senate race is not more of the middle or long distance races, which requires more of the ability to maintain a steady pace from start to conserve as much energy during relatively long-lasting race, because it is relatively impossible to maintain near top speed for every long race. Life is like a race and must be lived with the same intensity and determination with which a race is run. In the running world, sprinting and marathon races are on the opposite end of the spectrum and require very different skills. While both are challenging and require intense training, a sprint focuses on the short term, a marathon focuses on the long run. Every running event begins from a static start. A static start requires substantial amount of force to overcome inertia and achieve the fastest possible acceleration. An explosive start is critical because victory is often divided by as little as 100th of a second, as is particularly the case of a sprint run over a short distance at the topmost speed or done at full speed in limited period of time. As in sprint, Maidoki started very explosive, driving hard to shoot out of the blocks, which propelled him in the race faster than a good number of his distinguished colleagues, especially the first-time senators. Seasoned legislators have been known to accelerate faster out of the blocks than their first-time counterparts. They maintain maximum speed phase for longer distance because of their mastery of substantial speed, endurance, stamina, and mental toughness. After inauguration, the 10th Senate had 2 sittings in the month of June. However, the 2 sittings were mostly for many of the senators to acclimatize themselves to find their feet. A lot of behind-the-scene intra- and inter-party alliances, collaborations, and alignment of caucuses, political interest groups, and friendships forged. There were also the jostling and high-profile lobbying for senatorial appointments of equals among equals, and politicking for membership of the committees at the takeoff of the 10th Senate. Office allocation, seat arrangement took the better part of behind-the-scene activities of the senators in the period of preceding the inauguration of the 10th Senate. Thus, in the actual proceedings of the Senate, only 3 sittings took place on or before the 12th of July, which equals 30 days in office for the senators of the 10th Assembly. This 30 days assessment captures Senator Maidoki's major activities on the floor of the Senate and other activities representing his constituency of Kebbi South. Ahead of the resumption of the Senate, Senator Maidoki joined the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in a meeting held on the 3rd of July 2023 to discuss the Senate minority leadership. The PDP is the leading party of the minority parties in the Senate. The meeting was attended by 7 members of the National Working Committee and 25 out of 36 senators elected on the platform of PDP adopted Aminu Tambuwal for the position of Senate Minority Leader of the 10th Assembly. Maidoki first rose on the floor of the Senate emotionally passionate with an aching of a disturbing topic, the security of lives of the people of Kebbi South, his constituency.
Senator Musa Garba.
Thank you very much, the Senate President and the leaders of this 10th Senate. I rise to support this motion, and I'm very emotional when security issues are raised. We are looking to be safe. In Kebbi State, there are no identified IDPs. Our people are not getting help from anywhere. Today in Kebbi South, sir, we have over 100 villages that have been ramsackled. People are not living there. We have never seen NEMA. We have never seen any agent of government. If this is the only thing this Senate has done for us, if we are secured, sir, we think the Senate has succeeded, even if there is no road going to our village. Every market day from Kebbi South, more than 200 trailers will leave with grains to different parts of this country. Today, we are not sure we can feed ourselves. Any farm outside the city, you cannot go, you get dead. Yesterday, 10 people that sneaked to go to their farm just to clear the bush because of the setting of the rain, they were all killed. In our villages, Wasagu for instance, inside the Wasagu town, bandits came in and took 25 people. Nobody come to their rescue. We had bandits, we rushed to go and confront them with our civilian help. The police mobile force that are with us, 7 of them, followed our security vigilante. They were all killed. This is the crux of the matter, sir. I bring this cry to you. This is the reason why I'm in this Senate.
Maidoki's compassionate heart and sensitive feelings to others was what rose him to passion and stirred his emotions as he imagined the suffering of the people he represents. Senate President's closing remarks on Maidoki's presentation caps it all.
Well, distinguished Senator Musa Garba, you have expanded the issues far more than the mover of the motion even intended. Distinguished Senator Plan, you heard from Senator Garba that is in the Senatorial district in Kebbi State, that over 85 people were abducted and many are being killed daily. And the narrative is a bit scary. Before we go into the prayers, so we can take very decisive actions.
He is aware of the incalculable human suffering and crunch of economic hardship the people are passing through. In that presentation, Maidoki had no option but to share the hardship of the people through a good representation. The responsibilities of those he represents, the fear that he might fail them, that he might let them down, and that he might betray their trust was all encompassing in that presentation. Even though Maidoki was not the mover of the motion, there was no doubt, as confirmed by the Senate President, his emotional contributions with uncontrolled bursts of emotions in fits of sessions made the motion much better. As earlier narrated, Senator Garba Musa Maidoki joined the National Working Committee of PDP a day before the Senate minority leadership was announced. Contrary to the agreement of the meeting was what informed Maidoki's reaction.
I cannot imagine I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on a minority party, and a minority leader has emerged without even sending me a text message. What type of party are we having in PDP? We have a minority caucus where we have been meeting regularly. This issue was never brought. We were at the PDP secretariat yesterday, and we were told that nothing has been finalized. We asked the PDP secretariat, okay, if there is nothing finalized, please write a letter to the Senate, telling them that we have not agreed on the leadership of the minority caucus. Unfortunately, we cannot even come together and agree who should lead us. To come at the Senate and just hear that some people have sat down and they have agreed, 36 senators, they have nominated the minority leadership, I think is sad. And if 36 senators have out of 50 have signed, as it is said, and I believe they did, I just believe that this is not a system that must be encouraged. Now that leadership has emerged, I have nothing against those who emerge. We are willing to work with them to make sure this Senate succeed. We are not afraid of anybody, and we want to be plain and clear. Nigeria is a project that must work. Transparency in everything government must be entrenched, and we must be sure that whoever come to the position of leadership come with clean hand.
Garba Musa Maidoki is not intimidated to speaking the truth. When he speaks, he is full of brutal honesty, face on, outright without seeking for other people's approval to be him. How many Nigerian politicians can do that? Most Nigerian politicians have a horror for the truth. In the so-called Nigeria's politics is a dirty game. Many people will rather be deceived, that they will rather hear a lie than the truth. Not from Senator Garba Musa Maidoki. Maidoki's inflexible attitude always is that a fact was a fact, and no amount of human wishes could alter it. And his position is simple. In the words of Carrie Wolf, if the truth brings chaos, then let there be chaos. Maidoki's riot reaction reveals his finest character of disregarding personal consequences in comparison with the good or evil of any action. Senator Maidoki reported himself to the Senate President. I presume he told the Senate President, "Your Excellency, distinguished Senate President, with all humility and due respect, I came to tell you that I did not vote for you, not because Senator Yari was my brother, but because he approached me first and sought for my vote, and I gave him my word. However, having won and emerged our Senate President, I am here to pledge my utmost respect, unflinching support, and allegiance to you as I did in my oath of office."
After the meeting, Senator Maidoki has this to say.
I had a productive meeting today with Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio to reinforce the strong bond between our leadership and discuss critical matters affecting our beloved Kebbi South. Our primary focus was a lobby and campaign for urgent actions and robust measures to combat the relentless wave of banditry attacks across the Zuru and Yauri Emirates. The safety and security of our people remain our top priority, and I am committed to leaving no stone unturned in our pursuit of peace and tranquility. These incessant attacks have caused great anguish and hardship to our communities, and it is high time we put an end to this menace. During our meeting, Senator Akpabio and I discussed strategic approaches and potential solutions to tackle this issue head-on. We both share a firm belief that immediate action is crucial, and we are determined to work tirelessly to protect our people from the hands of these criminal elements.
On the 6th of July, Maidoki had the opportunity to support a motion on the investigation on one of his area of specialization, oil and gas, where he displayed in-depth knowledge.
I rise to support this motion for any investigation that will show any either inadequacies of any agreement that the government has entered. But please, I also want to point out that being a director of contract for NNPC, I want the distinguished members to know that gas contracts are signed upfront. Huge amount of investment is needed to process the gas to the quality that the GENCO will need. Without a make, take or pay clause, the investment in oil and gas will likely be zero. We have, for all the NGL trains we did, we have the take or pay clause for 10 years before we start the NGL project. This is a project that will cost anywhere between $5 to $10 billion for one train. If you recall, sir, we have problem of shortage of gas in the country, and the government had given incentive that they want to subsidize gas production. If you go to Niger Delta, you see gas flaring everywhere. It's not because people don't know that the gas is useful, but the amount of resources required to process this gas to the form that it will be used is very huge. So we want to encourage private participation in the upstream oil and gas. These people are borrowing money from abroad to invest, and we should encourage them. If there are any infringements, yes, we should correct it, but please, let's try and encourage our people without a make or pay, take or pay clause in most of our oil upstream contracts. Investment will be zero. So I support the motion that investigations should be done, but please, let's encourage private companies to do the business of upstream oil and gas. I so submit, Mr. President.
Maidoki spoke with authority of one with years of cognate experience, garnered over 3 decades of service, which culminated in the attainment of rank of the Director of Contracts in NNPC. Simply, without much ado, Maidoki shared his knowledge with colleagues, the distinguished senators of the 10th Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Senator Garba Musa Maidoki took a trip to Lagos to meet with a foremost business mogul and entrepreneur of international repute, Mr. Godi, on the 10th of July to discuss on how to uplift 200 youths across Zulu Yawuli to be self-reliant. He called the project the making of 200 millionaires in Kebbi South. Ambitious, you may say. I say it is achievable. In my personal opinion, this is Maidoki's most outstanding achievement in his first 30 days in office as a distinguished senator representing Kebbi South. My reason is simple. Many years ago, Ziegler told us that a lot of people quit looking for work as soon as they find a job. I think he was referring to Nigerian politicians who abandoned their electorate after assuming office, only to come back to seek for our votes 4 years later.
Maidoki narrated what transpired at their meeting with Mr. Godi.
Over the weekend, I had the privilege of being in Lagos for a meeting with Mr. Godi. The purpose of our gathering was to discuss a remarkable initiative, our mission to create 200 millionaires in Kebbi South within the next 4 years. The meeting was filled with enthusiasm, determination, and shared vision for empowering individuals in Kebbi South. Collaborating with Mr. Godi, we explored strategies and plans to unlock the entrepreneurial potentials of our community. Together, we aspire to provide opportunities and resources that will propel aspiring individuals towards financial independence. I am incredibly grateful for the wisdom and guidance shared by Mr. Godi during our discussion. His experience and leadership in the industry will undoubtedly play a crucial role in realizing our goal of nurturing 200 thriving entrepreneurs in Zuru and Yauri. This endeavor is close to my heart, as I firmly believe that by empowering individuals to become financially self-sufficient, we can create a ripple effect of prosperity throughout our community. Through mentorship training and access to vital resources, we will pave the way for success and transform lives. I am truly excited about this incredible opportunity to contribute to the growth and development of Kebbi South. With dedicated effort and unwavering commitment, we can foster an environment where dreams turn into reality and the spirit of entrepreneurship flourishes. Together, we will make Zuru and Yauri shine brighter than ever before. Let's work together to create a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem in Kebbi South, one that produces 200 aspiring success stories over the next 4 years.
Maidoki is an optimist who sees opportunity in every step of his way as a senator. His compassion for others often prompts him to resist impossible hurdles to achieve his set objective. In the space of 30 days, what I learned about Maidoki is that his steps once made, no step could be retraced. Once headed in a direction, the path will never bend, nor the pace decrease or slow. He is enthusiastic and passionate about his work, which is very amazing. The Senate President appoints Senator Garba Musa Maidoki Chairman of Legislative Compliance Committee on the 11th of July.
Following the successful inauguration of the 10th Senate and the emergence of the principal officers of the 10th Senate, I hereby announce the composition of the Selection Committee of the Senate as follows. Committee on Legislative Compliance. Distinguished Senator Garba Musa Maidoki will be chairman.
Without any fear of contradiction, one can presume that Garba Musa's truth-telling speech on the Nigerian project earned him this spectacular appointment.
Nigeria is a project that must work. Transparency in everything government must be entrenched, and we must be sure that whoever come to the position of leadership come with clean hand.
The trust placed on Maidoki by the leadership and Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who believe he was deserving of the esteemed position, is indeed immense honor, well deserving. This appointment may not be far-fetched from the recognition of Senator Maidoki's astute commitment, dedication, and passion displayed preceding the appointment. There is no doubt the appointment was a testament to the belief in his abilities to contribute meaningfully to the legislative process and work towards a better compliance with the laws. On the 12th of July, when Senator Maidoki, like all other senators of the 10th Assembly, were completing 30 days in office, Maidoki rounded it up with a plausible presentation in supporting the motion on the educational sector.
Thank you very much, the President of the Senate and distinguished colleague. I rise to support this motion on this very important issue of our children's education. Sir, the university is a place where young minds are molded. And if we didn't give them the enabling environment where they can think freely instead of going on strike, I think we are doing disservice to this country. I was in one of the universities cited in Zuru. We had to raise money to feed the staff of that university for 2 years before they were captured. I was at a convocation at the University of Jos. First-class brains were produced. The VC said this is the challenge of IPs. I would love to retain these people today, but I can't. I strongly support this motion that the Senate should intervene in this matter, find out what is the reality so that our children can have best of education, sir. I so submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Distinguished Senator Garba. I think that closes this chapter.
Remember, the future belongs to those who prepare for it. Maidoki started his senatorial race properly with an outstanding start. A great start can win a race even if one is not the fastest in the field. A start could potentially make all the difference. So the importance of a good start cannot be overemphasized. It is important to begin aggressively, even in longer races, to ensure getting away from the crowd properly and settling in the correct position in the race. Failing to do so will have reduced speed during the race. Events can be won or lost by the smallest margin. Every millisecond counts, and starts are arguably the most important aspect. Fail here and you could be instantly out of the race. A super quick start leaves the blocks first and therefore begins accelerating first and gives the advantage of reaching top speed before others. Therefore, even though their speed may not be as fast as another competitor, they could still cross the finish line first. This is because they are able to reach their top speed sooner. However, if your acceleration is poor, it is not uncommon for runners to come up from behind and win the race at the finish line. The difference between the people who make it across the finish line and everyone else is one simple team action plan, according to John Tesh. With my knowledge of sports, particularly races, Garba Musa Maidoki got me confused. I was too mesmerized to understand which of the races Garba Musa Maidoki is actually competing. His explosive start at the upper chambers of the National Assembly, his speed and momentum is near crackling of any athlete dead or alive. In many ways, a legislator with a 4-year time lag is similar to a marathon runner, particularly for a new legislator like Garba Musa Maidoki. Before setting out on the path to the finish line, he needs to have a plan, a well thought out strategy on how to obtain his long-term goals. Even from a sideline, without being a coach, I think Garba Musa Maidoki's 30-day stint at the National Assembly needs to be assessed and presented to be a mirror for both the senator and his constituency. The goal is to win. The ultimate is to get to the finish line with distinction. As for now, Garba Musa Maidoki's performance is marvelous, outstanding, and a standard record that deserves a study. Senator Garba Musa Maidoki's senatorial poise, pace, stride, and rhythm in his 30-day stint is marveling. His flagrant disregard to caution in his head-on collusion with stakeholders in the appointment of the Senate Minority Leader, his near-emotional collapse on the floor of the Senate in regards to security of the people he represents, his calm and calculated teacher-pupil display of facts and figures of the arithmetics of the oil and gas industry representing his 33 years career, where he rose to the rank of a director, his articulation and carefree, times tactless approach to truth and honest position is a dissertation study. Senator Garba Musa Maidoki is a slow speaker, hardly averaging 100 words a minute without extraordinary rich voice or the voice of a born orator. However, from his 30 days performance, Maidoki displayed a combination of sincerity, exquisite courtesy, forcefulness, ferocious, and if you like, an extraordinary fascination when he seeks out to make an honest, truth-telling speech and discharge a clear conscience. The most fascinating revelation of Maidoki's performance in his 30-day Senate stint was that his face revealed every emotion of the word he spoke, even when he was incautious. He is never afraid to raise his voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice and lying and greed. He spoke every word with an underlying moral force of the words in a powerful and compelling message with a strong inspirational appeal that defined our time, circumstances, and define him, hoping to bring out the best in his listeners. Maidoki's strength is his ability to directly present a barrage of facts in a confident and deliberate manner of speaking without being obsequious, imperious, conceit, or assumption. With this manner of speaking, there is no iota of doubt. Maidoki is a natural persuader of men. He has a natural dignity and air of command, distinguished looking without being foppish, sincere without being oily or uncourteous, grave yet sometimes with a touch of humor, fair yet stern. In my belief and disbelief, with due respect to honest Nigerian politicians, in 30 days in the red chambers, you have demonstrated love, passion, dignity, and proven integrity. I felt the pulse of your constituency. I can boldly state your actions have inspired confidence to the people you represent, and you are sincerely appreciated for the views and passion you shared in the red chambers, projecting what you know best, service to the people. As I hoped and prayed, up to the very end of this 30 days assessment, you remain true to character. I trust to this very point, Garba Musa Maidoki have said nothing unworthy of Garba Musa Maidoki. Distinguished Senator Garba Musa Maidoki, you gave your presentation as undeniable gravitas. I respect your courage and your vision. May Allah continue to bless you with more wisdom to steer the mantle of leadership as the senator representing Kebbi South successfully. In the next episode, I will be disagreeing with distinguished Senator Garba Musa Maidoki in many fora, and at every given opportunity, Garba Musa Maidoki has told the world that he is an accidental politician. These I disagree. I had the opportunity to study Garba Musa Maidoki's resume, and with this 30 days senatorial assessment, I found out that from the very first moment, destiny has set Garba Musa Maidoki on the path of politics. More so, I totally disagree with the old song sung by politicians that they were begged, cajoled, dragged, besieged, and drafted into politics. This will present my next episode on the distinguished Senator Garba Musa Maidoki. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. Keep a date. I remain yours sincerely, U.S. Machika. Thank you and God bless.